Hi there everyone, my name is Preetam and I welcome you all to Technoholic. In this video, we're going to talk about how the recently launched Google AI compare with most popular ChatGPT. And especially we will talk about GPT-4 and we're going to compare these two AI side by side on these four categories which are maths, reasoning, general questions and code. Yes, you heard it right. Google now have added code to their AI portfolio. So previously Bard was not able to code, but this Gemini model they can code as well. So this video really going to be very exciting guys. So stay tuned and let's see how good they both are side by side. Let me open two tab here and then I'm gonna compare them side by side. So GPT on left and Bard or we can say Gemini on the right. Now I really do not want to talk more about interface as they look almost exactly same. Okay, now let's start asking them questions side by side, and in this video I'm going to only cover text part because as of today the text variant is the major chunk or major part. I'm gonna start with asking few questions from general category, which is generally supported by massive multitask language understanding, or in short we can say MMLU. So based on Google, MMLU actually represent questions from 57 different subjects, and that also include STEM, humanities and other. So let me actually keep it aside and start asking them maybe by simple question. I'm gonna put the same question for both. So on the left hand side it is GPT-4 and on the right hand side it's Gemini Pro. So let's hit submit. And there we go. GPT replied, the capital of France is Paris. It was a bit fast, I would say. Generally GPT is not fast and it is actually to the point. However, in case of Gemini or Bard, it has created the same response up to here and added more facts. For example, it is one of the most popular city in France and a major global center of art, fashion, gastronomy and culture. So sometimes we prefer answer that is generated by ChatGPT, which is to the point, and sometimes we need extra information, or here Gemini is providing us extra information which is sometimes very useful. And not only that, here we can see if I click on view other draft, we can choose from these three different variant, which I would say is ton of information. And then here we also have got this option which says modify response. Let's say I'm gonna go with simpler. And here we go. Here we can see this response is almost same as GPT-4. Now let's ask some question from science, maybe a very basic question about photosynthesis process. And now let me send it. And there we go. ChatGPT is taking slightly longer time, I would say, which generally depends on at what time you are accessing it. So let's see the quality of the result. So if we talk about GPT-4, it have actually explained the principle of photosynthesis in these two lines, which is the photosynthesis is a vital process carried out by plants, algae and even some bacteria through which they convert light energy to chemical energy. And that's how they survive. And then we can see steps or processes that happen during this whole cycle. And then we also have a very compact summary, which is again in summary, photosynthesis use light energy and produce organic compound, primarily sugar from carbon dioxide and water, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. So we can see how good the quality of result is generated by GPT-4. However, if we see the result generated by Gemini Pro, I would say the first line do not make any sense. It is just saying that photosynthesis is a fascinating and vital process, and then it talks about different phenomenon occur during photosynthesis. But I would say I do not saw the introduction of photosynthesis. Then if we go down here, we can see in summary, photosynthesis utilizes sun energy to drive conversion of water and carbon dioxide into organic molecule. which is what I wanted to see. But when we compare who is easier to understand, I would say the point goes to GPT, which shows it in a very nice way. Now, again, here we have got these three variants, and now we can see what I wanted to see in the first, which is a short definition of photosynthesis. Now here it says photosynthesis is a fundamental process by which plant and organism convert light energy to chemical energy, and this is what I wanted to see. But this is available in draft 3. But the good thing is you can change the whole output in just one click, and that is really awesome, guys. And then we can also see in draft 3 also it shows us the definition, and then here we can see it also shows the formula of photosynthesis, how it is reacting with carbon dioxide and water to convert with the help of sunlight or light energy and converting it to glucose, which is nothing but the food or energy. I would say I really like this one, but the conciseness is missing somewhere in case of Bard. And then I would say this result is good. And then again, it depends on the kind of result you prefer. I would say you have ton of options with Bard or Gemini. However, if you just want to be focused, then you will like GPT-4 result. And then if I click on this modify response, and if I make it simpler, here we can see it is simple to understand. However, in case of GPT-4, maybe you need to ask, make it understandable for 5-year-old kid. Now let me hit enter and let's see how it explains. And by saying what exactly I want, I can also expect similar kind of result from ChatGPT. Now let's talk about some of facts. Let me ask both who wrote War and Peace. Let's see. So again, a very clear and concise result from GPT. From here again, we are getting ton of information, just like it happened in case of case 1. And then if you go with simpler, then I would say it's going to produce a very simple output which is closer to GPT. So I would say both of these models have performed decently if we talk about general capability. Now let's move on to reasoning, where I'm going to ask different kind of questions that will include common sense reasoning, reading compression, and multi-step reasoning. Let's start with asking one of very common sense question, which is if you find a wallet on street, what should you do with it? And let's see how these both perform. And I really like the first line generated by ChatGPT, which is if you find a wallet on the street, it is important to try to return to its owner. And then it is talking about do not invade privacy, look for identification, contact owner, handle it to local authorities, avoid using or taking anything, and leave a note. So I would say all these steps are really concise and practical. Now let's go to Gemini and let's see what kind of result it have produced. So I would say it is very direct. It simply says that if you find a wallet on street, here are the steps you should take. While in case of GPT, I would say it really have added a human-like touch, and after that it have provided all these steps very concisely. While in case of Gemini, as I said, it was too direct, and then it have added almost similar kind of answer. But I really like the way GPT-4 have responded, as not only it gave us a moral lesson, but it is also talking about privacy. However, in case of Gemini Pro, I would say it is more of robotic text. And then if I click here on this one, again we see different variants. And if again I click on more professional, and here we can see more standard operating procedure kind of instruction. So this point I really want to give it to GPT. Now let's ask a question related to food recipe, which is how you make a sandwich. And again, here you can see a slight human touch and then the steps included in order to make this sandwich. And as always, Google provides some links or information, which I would say is really nice to have. But again, I would say in terms of quality of output, GPT-4 is putting it in a really nice way. However, you can get more information in Gemini. Now we just ask a few questions from Big Bench Heart, which is diverse sets of challenging tasks required multi-step reasoning. And now I'm gonna ask both these AI about raining. So if it rained yesterday and was sunny day before yesterday and today is cloudier than yesterday but not raining, what was the weather 3 days ago? It is confusing for me as well, but let's see what answer these both AI provide us. And both of them are correct, as the day before yesterday was sunny, but here we can see a very concise explanation as ChatGPT always do, and Google Gemini is too direct. But let's click here, maybe it shows us the logic. And yes, there is logic, but here it is in the form of programming, and here we can see it have only provide one variant, as this is more of a reasoning, so that is why we are only seeing one output. So again, I would say GPT is consistent throughout the way it produces response. However, in case of Gemini, sometimes it is producing flora of information. Other time we can see a very concise and to the point result. Now let me ask one more question from both, which is from Matt's, a bat and ball that cost $1.1 in total. The bat is $1 more than a ball, then how much does the ball cost? And the answer should be 0.1. Let's see how they both figure it out. Whoa. So here again we see the differences, and this one is the factual difference. So one out of these both AI can be true. And this question actually I borrowed from this website, which is cambridgecoaching.com, and this one is really a tricky question. We can see the correct answer is 0.05, as the bet cost $1 more than a ball. So this $1.1 can split as ball plus $1, making a ball 0.05 and a bet of 1.05. And this was a really tricky question. So here it only showed us the cost of ball, but let me ask him what is the bet cost, and let me also ask him the reasoning behind it. Now let's wait. And I would say the same question I can also ask from Google Gemini Pro, which I would say has provided this a wrong result. And this time actually Gemini was able to produce correct result. But you see, it was not able to show correct result in one go. Now let me ask a question from Drop, which is reading compression. Let me ask again the same question from both, which is a train leave New York for Boston at 3 p.m. and travel at 60 miles per hour. Another train leaves Boston for New York. I mean, in this case, both trains are coming in opposite direction and traveling at different speed. And if the distance between New York and Boston is 300 miles, what time both trains will meet? So let's see what is the result. Again, here we can see both are producing a different result. So whose result is right? In this case, GPT-4 has produced wrong result, and really it is very disappointing. Now let's try to solve the same equation using the different variant of GPT, which is known as data analysis. So let me actually take help of this data analysis variant, and let's now see what result it produced. So good job, Google. Here you have produced accurate result. Now here in this variant of GPT, it will use Python maybe to find the answer. And there we go. We finally got correct result, which is 5 past 47 minutes. So both these trains will meet at 5 past 47 minutes. So really this point goes to Google. But at the same time, this also proved that we cannot rely 100% on them. Now let me ask one more question, and this time I am asking this question from the GMAT club, And then here we already have answer, which is 4 hour and 20 minutes. So let's see what result these both produce. I hope that the normal variant of GPT-4 can also produce accurate result. Gemini is fast. It have given us answer. And to my surprise, both have produced wrong answer. However, GPT is slightly closer. Now here in case of Google, let's see other draft. Maybe in other draft, it have produced accurate answer. And this one is nearby. Let's see this one. 450. So I would say these are factual based question, and AI should not produce 3 different results for a factual answer. Again, let me use data analysis and let's see if it is able to produce correct answer. Now let me give GPT this explanation and let's see what does it says. The same I'm gonna do with Bard or Gemini. And then here the Gemini is saying that your analysis of train problem is correct, but why you provided wrong result? And then it is apologizing for this wrong result. Now again GPT is recalculating when I ask him, why you provided wrong result. And that's really nice to see, GPT is not simply saying I apologize, it is actually trying to recalculate the thing. And there we go. Here now we can see the GPT-4 also concluded it at 4 past 20, which is correct answer. So in case of drop, I would say both AI models have not performed decent enough. They both came up with inconsistent results and I would say are not that reliable. Now we will see how they perform in math section, and let's start with basic arithmetic manipulation. For example, I'm gonna ask them to solve this basic grade 5 equation. I hope that they come up with correct result in both cases. And there we go. Both are correct. Now let me ask them one other such basic question. If 5 apple cost 10, then how much will be the cost of 12? And let's see what ChatGPT is doing. Okay, so it also produced correct result, which is 24. Now let's proceed for challenging maths problem that include algebra, geometry, and pre-calculus. So let's start with quadratic equation. And there we go. Both have produced correct result, which is 1. Now I'm going to provide both of them to solve for fx. And same I'm going to ask from Gemini Pro. And let me also ask them last maths question, which will be related to partial differential equation. Okay, in case of Gemini, I think he lost it since I have provided the complete equation. Now let me again put this question again. Maybe this time it would have complete interpretation. So we can see the derivative function for fx in case of Bard is showing 3x square minus 10x plus 6, which is true for both cases. So getting derivative is also good. And let's see if both these AI can also resolve or solve this partial differential equation. Gemini is fast, I would say. It's pretty fast. Again, both were able to generate the consistent result. I would say in terms of solving maths problem, both these models are pretty good. Now let's move on to our last section, which is code. And here they are talking about Python. Let me ask question from Python and then I'm gonna give them some of complicated problem. Okay, so let's see what kind of result both produce. So here I am asking both AI to produce a Python function that take a list of number and result largest number. And there we go. Here we can see both are producing result. Meanwhile, I can actually open Python to see how accurate their result is. So let me copy the code. Now let's run this code in Python. So let's start with this ChatGPT code. Now let me quickly save it. Now let's see if it is able to generate correct answer. And there we go. It says that the largest number is 8, and then these are the numbers. Let me make this one as 10 and rerun this code. Again, it gives me correct answer. So GPT is passed. Now let me copy the code produced by Bard or Google, and I think I also need to add this one. Now let's see what is the answer. So it says that the largest number is 8, which is also correct. Now let's make this one as 11. Let me rerun it. And now it says that the largest number is 11. So we can see how these both have generated this code. I slightly prefer the way how the ChatGPT have generated, as you know, it have added these documentation that will help other programmer to understand what is actually going on. Now let me give both AI another task to perform, which is developing a Python script that convert temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Same for Gemini. And let's copy this code again, and I'm gonna try it. So this time starting with Gemini. Now I need to enter the temperature in Fahrenheit. Let's put it 100. So it is 37.8, which is accurate. Now let me copy the code of GPT and let me again paste it here, and let me save it and run it. So here we can see the code produced by GPT is not asking from user. Therefore we need to provide it here. So let me make it 100, and now it is producing the same result. So 37.78, while in case of Google it is same. So I would say in terms of writing code for Python, they are good enough. Now let's talk about something big. So I'm gonna ask both of them. So this is my header section of one application that I am creating. Let me ask both if they can make some changes. So let me actually open this app. Now what I'm gonna ask both to reduce the size of this search bar, which have a width of 50 ch. So let me copy the whole code and let me ask both if they can do it. So let's start with Bard. So I'm asking him, help me change the width of the search bar in header section. And the reason why I am using this particular example, as the amount of code lines are approx 156 line. So let's see how it perform. And same question I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. Now here we can see the kind of result Gemini have provided. So it is asking me to modify the search component. But what I want is, I want Bard to write complete code. So I'm gonna ask again, give me complete code. Let's see if he can provide me complete code. And same, I'm gonna ask GPT. Okay, so this code is not complete. So there I would say is limitation with Bard. So I'm gonna again regenerate it, and then let's see if it can generate the complete code. So here we go. Here we can see the Google Gemini Pro lost this match, and here we have this complete code. So let me copy it, and then again here let me paste it. So again here also we can see the ChatGPT also did not provide complete code, but I am pretty sure that it will work. As you can see, the width of search bar will be set to 100%. So which is this one they need to change. So here we can see now the width is 100%. So let me change this value. Actually I can place it here, and then I can open this one here. Now let me change this value to 100, and let's see if it work or not. And it works. So there we go. It although have squeezed other component, but it understand what I am looking for. So that is really nice. So all in all, I would say still in terms of writing code, the ChatGPT is way ahead. So this was our last comparison between GPT-4 and Gemini Pro. And you might have seen how these both AI model have performed. In most of cases, GPT was outperforming Gemini Pro. It would be really interesting how Gemini Ultra perform against GPT-4. So that's all guys from my side in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, then do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more such video. And I will catch you soon in one such another video. Till then, you take care and bye bye.